Well, hello, boys and girls. It's when I feel like 8 o'clock, and I'm not feeling the greatest. I still went and did some Pilates at Chinky's House of Pilates and Yoga. Ask for Poon and tell them that my NHL Pearls sent through so I can get some free Pilates. Anyways, I don't have my tie on and I don't have my shirt on because I'm, like I said, not feeling all that well. I'm going to go get myself. I'm getting actually masseuse Laura is getting ready a nice hot bath of Nutella that I'm going to stew in for the rest of the day because it takes away all the impurities out of your body and soul, and it's going to be lovely, and I'll be just prim and proper by tomorrow, I'm sure. There is not. Oh, Jaime's body lube. It's the best there. I said it. You already know that. Right? Right. There's not too many games on the schedule today. So I am going to. What I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about each team and game. Each team a little bit while I predict each game. Give you a little bit of an insight into each team. The first is Detroit and Columbus. The Detroit Red Wings are, I think, this is what a lot of people are doom and gloom in the Detroit Red Wings, and I don't know. Holland may be on his way up with another manager coming in, but I'm going to tell you right now, nobody created an environment of winning more than Holland did, and you might you can thrash him for his giving too much money for Helm and other players like that, or giving them big contracts. But to him, the value is that these guys accentuate what they want their like Nielsen as well. They gave him a huge contract. I agree with you. It doesn't make much sense to me, but he has always looked for winners, people that are going to be winners. Nielsen didn't win in New York Islanders, but his attitude is that of winning, and he leaders and all of those things like that. All the intangibles that drive the freaking stats people crazy. Even though Holland's teams were usually always very well, good possession wise. Um, I don't think it's going to take long for them to rebuild. They have Mantha, they have Larkin, they have Rasmussen coming up, Nyquist. They've got a good young core there, and it's getting bigger. And I have a feeling that this is going to go a lot faster than you thought. Howard is not too bad. They'll get another goaltender to get Mrazek. It's going to take a couple years. They'll miss some playoffs, probably the next 2 years, and then they'll probably be a solid team after that. You got to remember, this is one of the best uh, drafting and developing teams that, in maybe the best that we've seen in the last decade. So, the Flames versus the Senators. Okay, the Flames. By the way, I should. The Columbus. Tortorella is up to his old tricks, and always. It's not just tricks. He always keeps his players on edge all the time. And he wants strong minded individuals and will push that envelope all year long. If you just saw an interview he had, he talked about how he was saying that there's probably players in here that are looking at the playoffs going, well, I think it might be better just to not make the playoffs, and then I get all this time, more time to myself, more time for my family. You know what? He's probably right. There are players that think that way, and I don't know. I don't know the inside to that, but it's not just that. He said other things that challenged his team, and he challenges his team all year long, and it can be wearing on a player. But I'll tell you what, it prepares them for the playoffs. It prepares them for winning cups, and that's what he's all about. Columbus will win this game. I'm going to say 4-2. The Flames versus the Senators. The Flames have been the same problem. I've said it a million times. They need scoring depth. Brower was a terrible contract. Hamonic was a bad trade. They got to really pull up their socks this summer, or they could be trouble for the Flames. The Senators are going to be better than you think next year. Carlson will likely be traded. If they got Darlene, it would be fantastic for them. We'll see what they add, but it's never going to work unless they can open up their budget to be able to get it even close to the cap. where they are right now, it's just not going to be. It's just not going to be. And I think the way I've watched the Flames play this last few, and their goaltending hasn't been great. I actually think the Senators are going to win this about 3-2. Ducks versus the Stars. The Ducks are on fire. They're flying pretty good. Carlisle is one of those guys that prepares his guys for the rest of the season, or for the end of the season in the playoffs. He does that every single year. He is so underrated, and I know the analytics guys can't stand him because he doesn't play an analytics type game, but you know what? It freaking works. You can't deny it. When he got fired from Toronto, they were a 500 team, something that until Babcock just did it, hadn't been done after and hadn't been done for a long time before. It was a terrible firing. The Stars are surprising me, and I'm starting to think that, what's his name? Just left me, just like that. The coach is past his prime. He just can't seem to adjust anymore to getting any other styles or ways of doing things, and it's hurting his team. I think their team are looking at it going, okay, can we be a little more progressive than this? And he's losing them a little bit. I still think they'll make the playoffs, but Hitchcock is who I was talking about. I still think they'll make the playoffs, but probably 1 and out. If you know, you've been watching my videos, 3 weeks ago, I said watch out for the Stars because I had a lot of faith in Hitch. But the more I see this, I'm starting to realize he hasn't learned as much as I thought. And I got to say this. Their goaltending has been shitty. And that's been the biggest problem. It might even be more than Hitch. It's just Bishop isn't panning out the way they thought. And if you remember last year, I was wary of this. I was like really wondering, like Bishop didn't look good in Tampa Bay. He didn't look mentally strong. And I was concerned, and it's showing. I think I'd fly with Lettinen now for a while. Wild versus the Canucks. The Canucks are just too, like, both the Wild and the Canucks are weird teams. You cannot. Boudreau's a fantastic coach, but the inconsistency is a surprise to me. I can't, for the Wild, anyways. I can't even put my finger on it. I think the Wild will likely win tonight, but if you ask me why they're not winning as much as they are, I honestly just don't know. They should be, and it's just luck maybe. This might be a case where you're just getting bad luck for a while, and I think that they'll probably pull out of it. The Canucks, they're a rebuilding team. I'm one of the few people that like the Benning signing. I thought he's done some excellent things. He won the Bonino trade. The Gudbranson signing, I mean, he's a defenseman's going to fill the ranks for a bit. He's a good room guy, stuff like that. And people don't like to hear that, but the Canucks are rebuilding, and a guy like that isn't bad to have around. That's really all I got to say about that. It wasn't the best, but it's not terrible either. Other moves they're doing and who they're drafting, like this Peterson kid that's coming up, they're doing fantastic as far as that's concerned. You can't deny. You watch. They're not going to be bad for long. This is going to be a strong team. They just need to get some defense now, and we'll see if they do that. Anyways, that's my full 42, boys and girls. I hope you enjoyed my Pearls of Wisdom. Press the subscribe button. Get yourself a vat of Jaime's Body Lube and my NHL Pearls of Wisdom necklace because everybody loves that. I'm going into mine to tell her. It's my full 42. Lots of love to you.